up a few NALSs in our time.
LSs are so reliable.
I mean, they work great until they don't.
Welcome back to the Circle of Drift podcast presented by Sim HQ. My name is Dawson, and today we are at Grid Life and Midwest Fest here at Gingerman again with Colin.
I feel like more drivers are fighting car problems and car issues than like it is like smooth sailing and like they're just a bad driver. You know what I mean? Nobody's a bad driver in FD. I feel like everybody's a good driver. It's just who has a car that's working that weekend. Yeah, you're never making money drifting or driving anything. It's always like a passion or like you're having fun, and then like whatever comes after. I had a full like kooky origin stylish kit, hot boy looking like Final Bout car, and I ruined it. Yeah, I know. Everyone's gonna hate me.
Look forward to all of that and plenty more on this episode, so look below the video. Make sure that subscribe button is pressed, and without further ado, let's get into the episode.
I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era.
Here we are again. We got a brand new face to the channel, of course.
Yes,
We got Colin here, so you want to give me a little rundown or tell us anything that people may not know about you?
Yeah, so my name's Collin Zielinski. I'm 23 years old and now a pro spec driver, so that's pretty fucking cool. But yeah, other than that, really nothing too crazy. I work with my dad at Extreme Graphics. We do a bunch of anything stickers basically. But yeah,
stickers.
Other than that, I play with stickers and then play with cars. So
Is it so pro spec as of this year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, rookie year.
Yeah. How has the climb been so far?
So I did Pro-Am for like 3 years. So I did, I think it's like 3 years ago we did East 10
Cool.
Pro-Am.
Yeah.
I didn't do like too great. I think it was like top 5 or something. And then I did full lock in Oklahoma and East 10. So I did like 2 the second year. And then the third year was
Good
just
God.
East 10. Yeah.
How'd you manage 2?
It's really not that bad. So they both were doing like the double header thing. So
Oh,
like
that
where
makes
you
it easy,
so like
yeah.
where you go to like a round and there you're doing 2 rounds technically at the one. So I think for full lock it was like I only had to physically go there 3 times, and then for East 10 it was only there for 2.
Sick, man. So out of since you got to experience 2 at the same time, which did you prefer and why?
That's a good question. Honestly, I feel like the East 10 one is better for drivers maybe because like so at least for me like East 10 was like they like try to do it as like a spec series, so we have to use the GTs. We have to like they kind of like make it like you're in Pro-Am or like pro spec, but like you're in a Pro-Am series, you know what I mean? So like they tech you like you're in FD, so like you have to have everything. You can't like, you know what I mean? You can't be like, oh, I got a ratchet strap holding my battery down, and it's good enough, where some other series are kind of like that. But I don't know. I feel like the East 10 one's a little bit better just because it's like it's more of a spec series where the full lock was not necessarily like a shootout. It was still 4 rounds, but like it was kind of just bring what you want, and like you still had to like pass tech, obviously.
I assume that makes the competition a little less.
Yeah, because then you're not on
competition.
Yeah, you got somebody that's out there on 315s, then you got somebody that's out there on a 255, or you know what I mean. It kind of is all over the place at that one, or at least when I went. But I don't know. East 10 was fun, and it's
Other than obviously you won the license, but who, if there was anybody else that you think deserved it just as much as you did, who would you choose?
Jerry won his license, but he got second when I did it, and then Reese, Reese Conklin?
Oh, yeah.
He's freaking, he was kicking ass at the same East 10 that I was doing. So, I mean, if anybody is like the next one in line, he's young and he's fucking.
He's a good kid.
Yeah, exactly. Good kid, good driver. And then he just got that E46. So, now he has a car that's a little bit more competitive. So, I think he's next up on the list. He's coming.
Well, how do you feel going out of Pro-Am and into Pro Spec, and like how like the complete vibe change of the event? Like FD is pretty massive, so it's a culture shock at minimum,
yeah,
right?
It's really not too bad of a culture shock. We were doing like all the grid lives, and so like we're doing a bunch of events where it's not too crazy, and we were doing like different competitions and stuff too. So it's definitely weird going into like a series that you know nothing about, knew everything. You don't know where tech is, you don't know where
yeah,
brand new tracks, all that stuff. So it's just Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a culture shock, but we were doing the 2 Pro-Ams, so like we were basically doing 4 rounds of like pro-ish driving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Pro spec, Pro-Am with a bunch of like decent drivers. So we were using, GTs. We were already I already had a car that was kind of built. We were just like changing the little stuff. Like, I had to change the ECU and I think like some wiring for Kevin to like plug in at FD. But for the most part, like I had the car. I didn't like build a new car or like, with the spec series, it makes it a little bit easier for like the transition, because then it's not like I'm on a different tire and then like, this is the first time on a GT at a brand new track. And I've been on GTs for 3 years before that, doing competitive stuff. So I kind of already knew the tire. I already like knew the car for the most part. And it was just kind of, going into FD, new tracks, and then,
Was the level of like competition as far as drivers a big difference, or was it fairly
Honestly,
the same? Or?
The Pro-Am was pretty competitive, at least the ones that I were in. I mean, the first year, Connor O'Sully was the one that won.
Yep.
I think it was Trevor Root, and then I'm trying to think, somebody else was the first year I was in. So, like, I mean, Connor's in Pro already. Trevor's not a bad driver. He's great. And I don't remember who the third person was. Oh, it was Cole Richards.
Oh,
So,
duh,
the first year, it was a bunch of heaters in Pro-Am, and then the second year, it was Cotty, Dempster. I'm trying to think who else was that was at Full Lock. That's when they changed it, because they went from, like, 3 licenses a year to, like, 1 license per round, or per, like, event. I don't remember who won East 10 that year.
I couldn't tell you, honestly.
Yeah. But, like, it was always competitive drivers. So, like, in Pro-Am, at least the ones that I went to, they were decently competitive drivers, and they all kind of had cars that were, like, basically pro-spec cars. So it wasn't too crazy of a jump. But, like, I mean, everybody in pro-spec, I think, is competitive as long as their car's working. I think it's more of a fight to, like, who has a car that, like, can last the weekend, you know what I mean? I'm trying to, like, think of the right way to say that. Yeah, like, basically who can, like, keep their car together for the weekend. Because I feel like more drivers
That's ultimately what it boils down to.
Yeah, I feel like more drivers are fighting car problems and car issues than, like, it is, like, smooth sailing and, like, they're just, like, a bad driver. You know what I mean? Nobody's a bad driver in FD. I feel like everybody's a good driver. It's just who has a car that's working that weekend, you know what I mean? Or who can keep it together that weekend.
Yeah. Especially when it's a car that is not a normal drift car.
Yeah.
Like, not necessarily in pro spec, there's not as much there, but in pro, there's a few cars that I would consider probably you need to switch chassis.
Yeah.
But that's beyond the fact. So as far as you and your program and stuff, though, did you ever see yourself going down this FD road, or like was this always it?
I mean, I really wanted to. Just like, you know what I mean, we had the shop, we were always doing stickers, we were into drifting. I mean, when I first started, it was just for fun. Like, we were just messing around with a $1,000 car with, like, maybe $1,000 in parts in it. And then it kind of, like, escalated a little bit quickly. But I don't know. After a few years of, like, coming to Grid Life and doing, like, fun events, I wanted to do, like, competitive stuff. And then it kind of just turned into, like, you know, FD's, like, the next step. You know what I mean? In terms of, like, competition stuff.
Why'd you feel FD specifically was the next step?
I don't know. It's kind of like like, from the outside, you know what I mean? You see it as, like, that's, like, the series for the U.S.
Yeah.
Or, like, that's, like, the highest level of drifting. Or at least I would, from the outside looking in, first year drifting, I'm like, oh, damn, like, I want to be an FD driver. Like, that's, like, you know? Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't the goal at the beginning, but, like, it slowly turned into that. Especially after, like, we kind of had the first car built, and then, like, it was just, like, I don't know. I wanted to do something that was, I could be competitive and it's, like, still fun driving. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That was, like,
do you think it's paid off up until this point with everything you've put into it?
I mean, I think so, yeah. There's really, I don't know. You're always spending more than you're getting, you know what I mean? You're never,
yeah.
Yeah, you're never, like,
just
making
motorsport.
money. Yeah, you're never making money drifting or, you know what I mean, driving anything. It's always,
right.
like, a passion or, like, you know what I mean, you're having fun, and then, like, whatever comes after, you know?
Unless you're Bond.
Yeah, I mean, unless you have, like, these $100,000, $200,000, $1 million teams. Yeah. I don't know. It's a different side of it. I mean, I think I have a decent program this year with Fitment on board. So, like,
How has that partnership helped your program specifically going into this year?
Oh, it's a huge help. I mean,
How do they help? Like, what is the other than wheels and stuff like that?
I mean, everything. They're helping with everything this year. They're doing a full like YouTube series, like following me, Colette, and I think it was supposed to be Mike Power, but not Mike Power.
Yeah.
So
I've been seeing that.
They're huge behind the scenes, and then helping obviously like monetarily.
What made them take such a big jump into drifting more specifically this year? Because it seems like
it was kind of out of the blue.
They put a lot into it.
So we personally know like Steve Hamilton and like all the guys that like are kind of behind the scenes at Fitment and Custom Offsets and like the Hamilton collection, like basically the whole like behind the sines of like all those companies.
Absolutely.
So we're kind of friends with them, and then it was kind of just like an out of the blue question. He called me one day. He's like, "Hey, you want to have a meeting? I have this idea," and it just turned into.
It's got to be nice when they just fall in your lap.
It was wild.
Like, that,
it was seriously like out of the blue. I was like, damn. Like I never expected that to happen, but it's definitely a cool thing.
Can you disclose like what all they're like specifically helping with?
Yeah, it's
on
monetary
the car
stuff.
Or you,
Both
or?
cars are fully sponsored by them. They're fully backed for basically every
They're the
event on
presenting,
that.
right? Like
yeah,
the
they
main
are.
spot?
Yeah,
Oh,
main.
Sick. That's
title
crazy.
sponsor. It is the Fitment Industries S14.5. So
awesome.
that's sick. And then they're doing that whole documentary series that following me and then Colette through FD. So I think it's like a 5 or 6 like episode series that they're gonna do like one per each round, maybe like some like in between stuff like at like a grid life.
What
or,
are they
like, stuff like
covering
that.
for anyone that hasn't seen it yet?
Literally everything. So like behind the scenes, like in the pits to full like it's like full like Drive to Survive
okay.
style like F1 like Drive to Survive.
Almost
but,
like a documentary style?
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it'll
I
be like
that.
a full documentary style like on me, Colette, FD, and just like drifting in general.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
awesome. It's always nice whenever the company provides stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Just it's an extra avenue that like they need it in general, anyways.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
But tell me about that car a little bit, especially if someone doesn't know. It's the one with the Boss kit, right?
So we have the
Boss
two,
runner?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
So our Grid Life car is just an NALS. It's a S14, but it has the Boss kit, the Rocket Buddy Boss front end. The NALS, it was a Pro Charged LS like our Pro car. So the Boss car has kind of been like the stepping stone car. It started out a KA car, then it went NALS, then it went Pro Charged LS, and now we're back to NALS.
Jesus.
So it's just that's like kind of. I would consider that almost my first drift car. I had a Mustang before that, but like this is like kind of the one that like the Mustang like sealed the deal. Then we built the 240, and it's just kind of been.
Why
that
did it
ever
go
since.
through that many variations? Was it just issues or
Not issues. It was really just like the stepping stones of like a car. You know what I mean? Somebody. It was a KA car, and it was kind of like a show car. And then I was like, well, screw it. Like I want to try drifting. So we're gonna do a turbo KA and then like a cheap angle kit like GK Tech, or not cheap, but like, you know what I mean, a cheaper angle kit, not like Wise Fab,
Right.
FDF stuff like that. And then it turned into NALS and caged, and then we did the Boss kit because we ended up getting a deal on it. So it was just one of those things. A bunch of
that's
stuff
why you
fell
chose
into
the Boss
place.
kit.
Yeah.
Person like not a fan of the Boss kit.
No, yeah,
Personally.
it's a love or hate.
It's got to be specific, I guess,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's never hit right for me, so I was curious why you chose to even do that kit in general.
It kind of just fell into our lap. One of our buddies had one on his car. It's Fisher, if you know who Fisher is. Risky
yeah.
Devil.
Yeah.
So when he had the red one, that's the original kit from the Risky Devil car.
Oh, sick. Okay.
So it was a Final Bout car kit, and then it turned into ours. So,
That's so
it just
cool.
ended up.
At least it's got a story. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he ended up like taking apart that car. I think he like totaled it or something at an event, and then he like parted it out, and we ended up with the body kit, and then it turned into all that. We were gonna be like the KAT, and then it turned into NALS, and then we got the Boss kit, and it kind of all fell into place like right as the season started.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be a lot like more tame of a car when we first came out with it, and then it kind of turned into like this pro-am capable car.
It is, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a good car. If you could put a different kit on it, what would it have been?
It was, so I had a full, like, kooky Origin stylish kit. Like, it was a full.
Oh, really?
It was a full Origin kooky, like, hot boy looking, like, final bout car. And I ruined it. Yeah, I know. Everyone's going to hate me.
Yeah, we're only going to clip that part from this podcast.
Literally.
No other ones. Josh. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But, damn.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, it was like that for like a year and a half, and then, like I said, the kit kind of fell into place, the engine kind of fell into place, and then, I don't know.
How many times has it been mistaken for Pickle Rick?
Not a ton, really.
Really? Because it's
a couple
bright
times,
green, so.
Yeah, a couple times, but then that whole, like, Pickle Rick thing, you know, he had his whole debacle, and then, so. But my car was, it was green for a little bit. Damn. It was green for a little bit, and then we did that whole, I don't know if you remember, it was like the black with like a purple like star on the side. It had a big star. It was like barely any green. It was like mainly black. And then we did the big wing.
Maybe.
And then we changed to like the more all green body. It's gone through a lot, and then it was kind of the stepping stone for the FD car, because like we did the NALS, then we did the ProCharged LS, and then that was kind of like we like copy and pasted the combo for the Pro car from that car.
Just mapping it out.
No, yeah, like literally they were
So
identical.
is that the car that blew up this weekend?
Yeah, I blew it up literally like last session. Yeah.
Do you know what happened specifically, or?
I have a few guesses because we've blown up a few NALSs in our time, but
LSs are so reliable.
I mean, they work great until they don't, just like any motor, you know.
I'm getting a lot of hate for having blowing up the RB, so RB, I got to give some shit back to people.
No, I mean, any motor's good, but they all break eventually.
Yeah, it's a fucking
That's just
literally
beating the shit out of a bunch of old motors and hoping they stay together.
Yeah, we're all duct taping them and fucking.
Yeah, I mean, it was a stock 6-liter with a cam and like springs and retainers. Like that's it.
Yeah, that's
probably some 100,000 mile, 200,000 mile freaking car that it came out of, and you know, we're just. I mean, I was down the entire front straight. I was just pinned like.
So how do you feel about this track then? Like out of all of the grid, because you drive grid lives all the time.
Yeah.
So how does this track flow to you? What is your experience with it this weekend other than blowing your motor?
This is a great track. I love it. The only problem with it is that like everybody sits on the first 3 corners, and the first 3 corners are cool, but like the back like 7 are fucking awesome, and nobody sees it. There's like no media coverage, and like I don't know. The back half of the track is way more
forever
fun.
to get to.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. So it's like the back half of the track is way more fun, but there's no media back there, so it's like nobody drives back there.
Damn, that sucks. It is cool to see, because like this is spectators area.
Yeah, exactly.
So like,
this
this
you
is where
kind of
everyone
have
does
to
their
drift.
cool shit.
Yeah.
So I get that. I've driven it a couple times on the sim, but
the sim is weird.
It
like
doesn't
real life, it's
relate
a lot.
as well.
Yeah, real life, it's a lot easier to like make flow. Once you kind of get it, like it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's like a couple long straights that you're either manjing or straightening and then like kind of entering at. But the back half of the track is a lot more linkable. Where like this is like you're really just drifting 1, 2, and like a little manji to 3, really. But I don't know. The track's definitely fun, but I don't know. There's better tracks, I guess, for drifting, but it's just, this is like the staple for grid life, so,
Yeah, that is true. Out of the grid lives, though, what is like your favorite track, I guess, to go to?
Laguna was pretty fucking sick.
I knew you were going to say Laguna. Everyone does.
Yeah. Laguna's pretty sick. I mean, Watkins Glen was sick, but, like, they don't go back there. They're all kind of, it's one of those things. I mean, when you
drove Atlanta, right?
No, I didn't. I mean, I drove
shit.
FD Atlanta, but not Grid Life Atlanta, no. That was the year before I started Grid Life stuff. Because it was FD, or they did the Grid Life Atlanta, and then it's turned into, then they, like, stopped or whatever. They got, like, I don't know, something happened.
Yeah, it was I don't know.
That was when, I think T-Pain headlined, right?
I think so,
that was
yeah,
Grid Life
yeah,
Atlanta? Yeah, because I wanted to go to that, and then the year I started going to Grid Lives I was whatever, like 17 or like 18, and they stopped doing it, and I was like, oh, well, that sucks, but
darn.
Yeah.
But you didn't go to this past one?
Well, I was at
With
FD.
Oh, okay, so yeah.
I didn't drive like the Grid Life side of it, no.
Oh, okay. So you
I
didn't
would've
get to drive
loved to.
the full course?
No.
Damn, you should. Why didn't you do that?
I was having belt problems. That's how I lost in FD, actually. The
Oh.
blower belt.
What was going on there? Like,
I was
the
just I
cause
don't know what happened from last year to this year, but I blew up the motor on the dyno, set it on fire on the dyno, and then got to FD and then had a bunch of blower belt problems. So I don't know. We added another pulley to like break up one of the like the longest runs in the Pro Charger system.
Okay.
And then it seems to be fine now. I mean, I've done 3 sets of tires or 4 sets of tires here this weekend so far. So, and the belt stayed on the whole time. So,
well, fuck yeah.
I hope it's fixed because, if it is, then hopefully I can kick some ass in New Jersey.
Well, I hope you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Good luck to that. But tell me a little bit about Extreme Graphics. Like, where did that come from? When did it start? Is it like a family business?
Yeah, so Extreme Graphics is solely my dad. He started it, I think, we're going on like 27 years or something like that. 27 years ago. He started, I think, in his mom's basement or something, or like in his mom's house doing stuff. And then it turned into, he had a couple buddies that like owned or worked at like body shops and stuff. So he started doing like body shop style like stickers, but he was also doing like the custom side of it, like out of his friend's body shop. And then it turned into like he wanted to do it more of the custom side of it. So he opened up his own shop. And I think we're 3 or 4 buildings changed over time, and then now it's now we're in Lombard, and we got a 5,000 square foot building. And
get into vinyl itself? Like what?
Honestly, I have no idea how he why he started with vinyl.
Yeah.
It was just it was one of the things that he he was doing like paint stuff and like with the body shop with like his buddies, and then it turned into he was doing like the sticker side of it in the body shop, and he just wanted to do his own thing. Well, there was like a conflict of interest, I guess, in the body shop. They wanted to do more like the body shop repair, and then he wanted to do more of the custom, like cool stuff.
The pretty stuff. The
yeah,
fun
exactly.
stuff.
The fun, cool looking stuff. And then it turned into, he opened his own shop, and then I think it's 3 or 4 different buildings he's been in since he started, and now we're in that 5,000 square foot building.
What cars do y'all primarily like focus on? Is it drift cars, or is it just?
We do more commercial stuff than anything.
Oh.
Yeah, so van, like any like semi trucks, vans, truck lettering. I mean, we do stuff for like WeatherTech. We do stuff for literally anything. Any company that's by us. There's a bunch of like fleets and stuff that we do.
Dude, do you not use those connections for like sponsorships that are outside of drifting right now?
We have for some of them actually. I mean, like Bristol Hose is a good one that we that we're like kind of friends with. They're like local to us, but they do everything like fittings and stuff. So they do more of like the commercial side of it, like where they're doing like repairs for like Bobcats or like high pressure lines or like stuff like that.
Cool.
But they have all the brands for like all the automotive stuff. So like on my car, like everything is Phoenix fittings and like hoses and stuff. But I get it all through them. So, but that's like a good example, I guess, of like we were doing their stickers, and then it turned into like he's friends with them, and then turned into a sponsorship for the race cars.
I would, dude. If you could get a big company in, if you're already doing commercial stuff, it'd be crazy. Like, what company did you just say before that?
We've done some stuff for like WeatherTech.
WeatherTech, yes. Why the fuck aren't they in drifting?
I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, they do so much like stock stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They probably. I don't know. I mean, it would be cool.
There's so many companies out there that it would suit so well for drifting. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
The holdback, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know, especially with like me, at least like having like almost a 30-year-old car now. That's why I'm like trying to do all the stuff with the A90. Like I'm trying, or that's like going to be the next car that I'm building.
Right.
Is that maybe like it's not as marketable, like from a company's like
why
viewpoint
wouldn't it be?
Like that. You know what I mean?
Well,
like a car that's like 25 years old. A company like WeatherTech, they're not selling anything for a car that's 25 years old. You know what I mean? At least for like an A90, like, I mean, I could have an exhaust company on the car. They might not make my exhaust on my car, but somebody that sees my car with that logo and they have an A90, stuff like that. Like, I feel like
does it not feel weird still running a logo that it's not even on the car?
Honestly, no, because I mean they're sponsoring you monetarily, and then technically they make parts for that chassis. So like, or like stuff like that, like where like say. I don't even like Borla or whatever. Like Borla makes stuff for a Corvette. They might not
have a
necessarily
Corvette booth car.
Yeah, they might not necessarily like make stuff for Matt Field's car, but they, they make Corvette like stuff. So like stuff like that. Like I feel like newer cars are more marketable for like those newer companies that might not carry stuff or make stuff for the older cars. Yeah, like the older cars are like more supported, like aftermarket wise, like for drifting, but I feel like the newer cars are more marketable in that like sense. I just feel like that stuff's like coming because like all these cars. I mean, I bought 2 wrecked A90s for $3,500. Like that's
no way.
That's a
from where?
It was a guy that was parting them out. Like he would buy like the Copart cars and then buy or like take all the expensive stuff out of it, but he wanted to get rid of the shells. So I bought 2 shells. One was perfect. One was a wrecked shell and one was like a burn car. So I used all the parts from the burn car, like subframes and stuff like that. And then I fixed the crash car like chassis, and I put them together, and I'm making one good one.
Damn, that's
crazy. But like $3,500 for 2 A90, like that's a brand. Like literally, the one car that was crashed had like 1,000 miles on it. So like $3,000 is like barely an S chassis. That's clapped like
easy.
A total like junk car. You know what I mean?
So where does it sit right now, and how much money do you think you have in it so far?
After like the body shop, I bought a couple things, but nothing crazy. I probably have 7 in the shell, as is, and that's
not bad at all.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, because it was like it was $3,000 or $3,500 for the cars, and then it went to the body shop and it was like almost $5,000 in like repairs. So it's not terrible. But I bought doors, I bought like a hatch, I bought like a bunch of like random stuff to, like so that they could like fix it the right way, like make sure like all the body panels like line up. So like the car was pretty tweaked, but now, you know, I mean $7,000 in a chassis, that's expensive, but
true. Are you running into any like weird issues given that it's a newer chassis and it has like so much more going on with it? It's a more complex chassis compared to your S chassis and
honestly,
stuff like
not
that.
Really. It's like I have more room than an S chassis in the engine bay. Like it's fucking huge.
Wow.
Like,
well, I guess
easily
S chassis
like
are pretty narrow.
Yeah, I probably have like at least 6 inches more like width in the bay, like minimum.
That's incredible.
Yeah, the friggin' steering column's tucked against the side of the friggin' not the trans tunnel, the frame rail. So like, there's just a ton of room for like. I mean, it's an easily swappable chassis. I mean, it's probably. I'm trying to think what it's considered or like close to in like the BMW world. So, I mean, it's basically a BMW, but it's probably like an F80-ish, like chassis-wise, like up front.
So, okay, then as far as setup goes, what all are you going to do to your car? Or, like, what do you suggest someone trying to do that same process of the same chassis? What parts are you going to put on it?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to cage it, obviously, so I'll probably, like, cage kits, so that's easy. But, like, I mean, HGK, like, body stuff, I mean, it's super expensive, but it's super nice. I was thinking about doing, like, HGK stuff, or I was actually talking with Peter and, like, his mechanics in Poland, like, Visik, about doing the stuff that he has on his car, because they make all that stuff. So I was just one of those, like, it depends on, like, what route I want to go for, like, body work. But, I mean, parts-wise, there's really WiseFab is the only place making stuff. I think FDF just is now starting to come out with like prototype stuff for A90s, but nobody has really any angle kit, like grip kit stuff besides WiseFab, at least at this moment.
That. Huh.
I was talking with Josiah about like doing like a custom kit for the like the front and the back, but like I don't know, he's super busy with building the cars that he's building, so it's like to find the time to send the car to Canada to have them like build all the stuff and make it all custom to have like their A90 kit, like I don't know. And I'm running out of time. I mean, I was talking about doing this stuff 6 months ago, and it's kind of at a standstill. We're making like motor
when
mounts
does it need to be done by?
Stuff. It doesn't need to be done by this year, but I'd like to have it done before the end of the year to like test it next year. Like maybe like have it like as like a grid life car next year, and like slowly like move it into like maybe making it like the pro car one day.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be a good chassis for it. That's for sure.
Yeah. I've just heard that they're not as easy to get grip out of. So like
I've heard that too.
They're
but
like
what do people
limited
mean
on like
by
the grip
that?
side of like the suspension.
Yeah, like mechanical grip.
Yeah.
Why are people lacking the grip in those cars?
I think it's just how the suspension is designed, like the number like the number of bars and like how they're set up is just subpar to like other suspension like geometry, I guess.
Subpar, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, once you're in pro, you kind of, I mean, it's all by weight, so you can run a big tire that's, It kind of evens the playing field, I guess, in terms of like grip.
I could see that. Yeah.
But I mean, they're new still. You know what I mean? So like, what if Wisefab or what if FDF comes out with like this baller grip kit that works way better than the last one? You know what I mean? You never know. We're talking about a car that's 5 years old. You know what I mean? We're compared to like S chassis that have been out for 25, 30 years. You know?
No, that's the beauty of having companies like FD and especially Wisefab too. Like they're constantly changing the game, and I think Wisefab wouldn't have been so ahead of, well, not in the beginning, but right now, like they started falling off because FDF really challenged them and started making more innovative products rather than just here's the angle kit. This is kind of what
like
you get.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing else to it. But I mean,
FDF was like filling the gap of like, oh, we want like the Mini or the Mega Mantis, not like a full, angle kit. They can kind of do like the cut knuckle style, like what you would do in an S chassis, but with like an adapter almost.
Absolutely. Like the fact that he comes out with 3, 4, 5 versions of a kit.
Yeah. He's constantly like upgrading, and I mean Wisefab's doing that too, but it's.
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to argue between Wisefab and shit, and just.
Yeah.
I love that the industry is being challenged that way.
Yeah, exactly. It makes everything better. Because then, companies are constantly making like, oh, I made this better, and then, they make something a little bit better, and then it kind of just, keeps going.
Absolutely.
It's a great thing for drifting just in general.
Well, where do you see the future of drifting? Like, what is your idea of it, or whether it's for yourself or just in general?
I mean, myself, obviously, I'd love to get to, like, Pro 1, maybe even do, like, some Drift Masters stuff, just because, like, I feel like it's a little bit more competitive in Drift Masters, maybe. I don't know. It just seems that way from the outside, but same thing, like, I thought FD was super competitive, going into it, or at least I'm doing pretty well, but I don't know. With all of the super young people coming into, like, FD and drifting, and, like, I don't know, there's really only one way, it's going to keep growing, or at least I would think.
Do you think Drift Masters is actually better, or do you think just the perception, seeing it, and the fact that, like, we don't have those tracks specifically, we don't have those judges, we don't have that
I really
media.
think it's like that. I think it's
just
more
the
of like
FOMO factor, in my opinion.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, that's how I felt about FD, and now I'm in it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, it's not that bad, or what, I mean?
I can't believe I used to think that way. Da-da-da-da.
Yeah, exactly. I was always like, oh, this is fucking, this is crazy, and then I get here, and I mean, it's still it's awesome. Like, it's, it's a dream to be an FD, so I don't know. It's one of those things. It's going to keep growing, and we're going to keep going to different, bigger tracks and, like, stuff like that. It's just, it's when more sponsors and, like, more money comes into the sport is when more stuff's going to grow, you know what I mean? Because I think we're kind of capped on, like, that side of it. Because, I mean, there's always more drivers, you know what I mean? There's always, like, that grassroots guy that you've never heard of before that'll, does some crazy shit, and see now, especially like with Instagram and YouTube, TikTok, all that shit, like you see more like those like people that you wouldn't normally see unless you were like going to those tracks. So like I don't know, it's gonna keep growing. It's just like once you get more money into the sport from like other sponsors, like those outside sponsors that we were like talking about before, that isn't like necessarily like the cookie cutter like FDF or Wisefab, like where they're physically making parts for the cars that like are driving in the sport. I think that's when it'll grow more.
Who do you think it'll take? Like, what company?
I don't know. It's really, I don't know about a company in general. It's just about, like, having the backing. Because I feel like most, like, tracks are, like, kind of scared of drifting still. Because, like, it's new, it tears up the asphalt, blah, 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 blah. Like, I feel like all those tracks and, like, the companies are, like, scared to be, like, a part of it, I guess. Or maybe some of those companies have been, like, burned by drivers that like didn't know what they were doing. They threw the pitch at them, they got it, and then they did like nothing with it. You know what I mean? 'Cause I've definitely seen like some of that, like where you'll get a brand new company that like would be revolutionary, and then like that one person that got the deal kind of burned the bridge for like that company. So maybe like some of that happened. Maybe maybe it's not having a connection to the company. I don't know.
Well, how's your experience been with gaining relationships with companies and stuff then?
It was pretty difficult at first. I feel like with social media side of it, it's not necessarily easier, but like you kind of have to do social media first and like drifting second, where before social media, you had to be a good driver to get a sponsorship. Now I feel like if you're a good personality, you can be like a subpar driver, but still get a bigger name sponsor. I don't know if that's like a dick way to say that, but
No, I mean, it could be a dick way or not, but if it's the truth, it's the truth.
Yeah.
So, like, I get it. It's just always.
I feel like social media is a way bigger factor in a sponsorship, if
I
not
would
like
agree.
the main factor in a sponsorship compared to how it was.
Today's age, it's all social media. So, I mean, you're running. I could not know a single thing about you or your car or anything. I've never seen you in my life, but I could see you a million times a month.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Maybe not that much, obviously, but
No, but yeah.
I can see you 30 times a month at minimum, probably.
Yeah.
If you're posting every single day.
Yeah. If
So-
you're, yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't even have to be great. Like, what do you post on a regular basis?
I mean, it's really just content from the track, and then like maybe some like behind the scenes stuff like fixing it, or I mean, when shit happens, it's always an opportunity for a video or something. But it's really just like in-car content, like driving stuff. I don't know, nothing super crazy. It's just reels and posts. I don't do anything on YouTube yet. I should. Just
Do
with the
any of
whole-
your like deliverables or anything for sponsors revolve around making content?
Oh yeah, like I have like with Fitment per se, like I have like stuff that I need to do for them. Or
No, well, yeah, there is that, but like you specifically, you have to make the content, you have to post
oh
it.
yeah, I'm making
Yeah.
everything, doing everything. Yeah.
It's all like contract obligated though?
For some companies, yeah. For some others, it's so like, at least for me, like some companies, they don't want to like put oh, you need to make 10 posts about us. Like they'd rather have it more organic than that. But then I do have like some of those companies where they want a contract. You know what I mean? In the contract, like there's a number. Like I need to have whatever 5, 6, 7, 8 posts about them. A year or whatever.
So you mentioned organic. Like what organic posts are they looking for you to do that still
It's just like-
incorporates their brand?
Yeah, it's more just like organic, like integration of like whatever it is, like power stop. You know what I mean? I run power stop brakes, but like they don't want me to like just make a power stop, like take a picture of my brakes.
Here's
and-
my brakes. This is why they're good.
Exactly.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Like nobody ever look. You know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
you, like you're not gonna look at a post that like, here's my brakes, they're great. You have to like integrate it. I don't know. I hate saying it like that, but like you just have, you know what I mean? If they work good, they work good, and you know what I mean? It kind of shows on track, and then like you use the content that you make to like show that off.
Do you think the relationship builds that? Because personally, I would only work with the company that I genuinely understand the product or I've used it myself and I know it works.
Yeah.
That way, you don't even have to try and it's actually organic.
Yeah.
You're just genuinely talking about a product you love to use. So, I feel like the audience can just see through that shit, man.
I don't know,
If
I've
you're
really
talking
never-
about a product you don't like, they can see through it.
I've
quick.
really never had a company or something like that I've like wanted, you know what I mean? Or that I've got that like I didn't want, or you know what I mean? I don't know.
I feel you.
Like I've always, all the companies I work with are all like, they're all like good people behind the scenes. Like I'm meeting them before like working with them, I guess. I don't know if that's like a good way
Do you
to put
feel
it.
that's the best and appropriate way to do it in this industry?
I feel like you get a better relationship that way. Like it's, like I said, it's like more organic, I guess.
I'd
Because like I'm
agree.
actually like friends with the people in the company before like I'm working for them, I guess.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because like, or at least like that's how it worked with like most of the brands that I've worked with. Like I've never had like somebody come up to me, or at least I don't know. I'm not like some huge, 100,000 followers or 1 million followers, so it might be different for me. But I don't know. I haven't had like opportunities like the Fitment thing like ever. That was kind of just like out of the blue. I mean, I've been sponsored by Fitment and like Custom Offsets or like those companies for like a little bit, but like on a pretty small scale. So like the jump was kind of crazy, at least for for this year.
It's like, oh my God, wait, I didn't think that would work.
No, like
I didn't know.
absolutely no. Like it kind of just fell in my lap, and I was like, holy shit, like this is actually happening, and like it all just worked out. So,
That's so cool, man.
but like I've never had like a company like that I didn't want to work with, or you know what I mean, or like it was a product I didn't like or like wasn't on the car. It's everything I'm using, or all the companies that I work with are like either stuff that like is actually on the car that works, or like stuff like that, I guess.
Did it open you up to like what more possibilities there could be as far as your sponsorships you already have? Like, did it spark any more ideas that you could bring up with other companies or?
Oh yeah, for like content ideas or like stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Because then now it's like, oh my God, I didn't realize this was even feasible. Oh, but wait, what about?
Or like I can leverage stuff like that I'm doing with one company, like to help another company, like stuff like that. Like obviously the documentary with Fitment is great for all the other sponsors that I have. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So like stuff like that. So like you can like leverage stuff like that, I guess, to kind of like move stuff around or like gain other sponsors, you know, or like, oh, I'm sponsored by this company. Like you can kind of use some companies like as leverage to get other companies, I guess.
Is there any company out there that you really wish you were working with currently? Just because you love the company as they are, like the way.
I'm trying to think.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, it would obviously be like awesome to like be like factory backed or like some crazy shit like Red Bull or something. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like it would be something like that, like Toyota or like obviously doing like the A90 stuff. Like you know what I mean? I wouldn't just be doing it because it's an A90. Like I like it because I like the car. I have one that I daily, you know, stuff like that. Like that would be sick. Like a Toyota like sponsorship or like something like Papadakis, like something crazy like team
Toyota
back.
would
That
be
would
fucking
be
nuts.
That would be sick. So like I don't know. There's like Falcon would be sick, but like they're not an FD anymore. So it's like I don't know. There's really,
Mine's always been NOS. I drink way too many of them.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to
you're
think,
welcome,
like,
NOS.
yeah.
But
or like
help.
like Red Bull, like stuff like that, like shit, like those crazy like big like.
Dude,
that would just
what
be
about
fucking
Red
sick.
Bull? What like? Cause why? For one, why hasn't Red Bull shown up more in FD? And why now? Just because of Shanahan and a couple of the drivers.
Honestly, I have no idea because I know a couple of Red Bull like athletes on like in different motorsports, and they just don't do drifting in the U.S. And it's only with drivers that are overseas that move over to like FD, like
That doesn't make
Shanahan
any
or
sense.
what isn't Manoa Red Bull too?
Yeah,
So
but
it's
it's
only
not
people that are
for
overseas.
the U.S. program.
Yeah, it's only the overseas drivers that are sponsored overseas that they get the
Isn't
US
Connor
side of
the
it.
only one with a Red Bull logo on the car?
I think so.
Specifically?
Because that was last year with Rome's car, and then this year with his FRS or
Dude,
DRZ,
that's
whatever.
so crazy. For one, how do you even land a sponsorship with Red Bull? How do you meet someone from Red Bull?
I have no idea.
That's
Tell me,
insane to
please.
Yeah, if you ever find out, let me know.
I know, yeah, you too.
Ditto. Oh,
Seriously.
My God. Well, cool, man. Is there anything special happening this season that's coming up in the future, or are you excited for? Or do you think you're gonna get your license this year for pro?
I mean, obviously, I'd love to be like optimistic and be like, yeah, I'm gonna win Pro Spec this year, but like,
Be confident, bro.
It's my first year in Pro Spec. I mean, I did pretty well for the first round for my rookie like debut. I'm top 8, top 5 in points, so like that's fucking badass. But like, realistically, my goals were like top 10 for the season. So like, as long as I can like stay within like the top 10, top 5, like I feel like as a driver, I'm good enough to be there. But like, I really just need to like figure out the car again and kind of get it sorted. And as long as the car works, I feel like I'm a good enough driver to be able to go to pro. So
as far as everything else in the program, though, it's going good. No changes needed, really.
Yeah, our crew's fucking sick. I mean, they got me back out there every time we had I threw 5 belts in the 15 laps that I drove in Atlanta. So, and you know, the couple times I got hit, so they were great when I needed them. So as far as like the program and like that, I think we're pretty not dialed. I mean, obviously you're learning every event that you go to. So, I don't know. I mean, obviously FD's fucking sick, so it's gonna be sick to go to all the new tracks and like figure it out and.
Well, are you nervous
win.
for any in particular?
I don't know. I mean, you're always nervous like the first couple laps you go out at an event or like a competition, at least for me. But like once I get comfortable in the car, or like as long as I can get comfortable, I don't know. I think I just figure it out. It's one of those. I'm not like super crazy with it, I guess.
Just psych yourself out for a little bit.
Yeah, like those first couple laps, I'm like, oh shit, like is the car gonna work?
Get it together.
Yeah, exactly. And then like once I like put it together, you know, get a lap around the track or a couple laps, and you know start getting more comfortable.
What do you think that is? Because I have it too, and I know plenty of other fucking people have it. Even Jeff Jones, he mentioned it in his podcast how he has that
like that
still
jitters,
like fear. It's like just get through the first initiation type fear.
It really is. Like it's really that like get the first couple laps out of the way, and then like you're kind of good, I guess. I don't know. But how we were like trying to like explain it is that like, especially in competition, like once you get through like top 32 or like once you get through like that first battle, then it's like, well, shit, I already won like the first one. Like, fuck it, we got this shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I get it. Well, cool, man. I really appreciate you coming on and chatting about this. What events? I don't know if you answered this part. What events do you have coming up?
So there's obviously FD, the 4 rounds that we're doing FD. We're doing, I think 3 or 4 of the Grid Life events. We got, I think, Holly LS Fest. We're doing some Fuel Fest stuff. So just stuff like that. And then we're obviously doing like the local, like around the Chicagoland area, I guess, stuff. But yeah.
Awesome, man. Anything special behind the scenes people can hope for other than the car?
I mean, yeah, the A90 is going to be hopefully pretty sick. So,
cool. Where can they, if they want to get any graphic stuff done, where can they look at that for?
Extreme Graphics on, I think, all social medias, Instagram, Facebook. Our website's, I think, extremegraphics.com, so it's pretty simple. But yeah, other than that, I'm Extreme CJZ is my stuff. So,
cool.
The shop is all Extreme Graphics.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, last one I got for you is, what is your best piece of advice for anyone just getting into drifting?
Anyone getting into drifting? It's like that whole like keep it simple, stupid thing. Literally. Like, I mean, my first car was a fucking, like I said, $1,000 car with like maybe $1,000 in parts in it. Like, literally get out there, just like buy a car, weld the diff, go fucking drive it. Done. Just go,
awesome.
Go figure it out. You don't need an angle kit, you don't need a hydro, you don't need any of that shit. Just go fucking drive and figure it out and then upgrade the car as you go.
Nailed it. I love that.
Keep it simple.
Awesome, man. Well, again, thank you. Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Sorry again your motor blew up, but
it is what it is.
You'll get it worked out.
Yeah, exactly. We're good.
Absolutely. Well, good luck this season, for real.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Go have some fun, brother.
Stacking way up to the ceiling. Trust no bitch, can't catch no feelings. I've been taking long flights from the Bay to Ibiza. Hit home runs, I'm a ball like Jeter. I just want fuck, then I leave her. I'm a young pop star, call the boy Justin Bieber. Got a little money if you want, I can teach you. Whole life a movie, you can watch it in theater. Stacking way up to the ceiling. Trust no bitch, can't catch no feelings.